Hello everyone, I'm Ben, and today I thought I would try my hand at drawing the characters from Murder Drones in my style. For this video I decided that I'll be drawing Uzi, N, V, and J. So, let's get into it. The first character I'm drawing is Uzi. I thought she would be good to start with since she's the protagonist, and in my opinion, she has an easier design compared to the disassembly drones. The sketch was fairly easy and it was pretty fun. I haven't drawn a rendered piece like this in a while, so I think starting with a character that's pretty easy to draw was a good warm-up for me. The proportions of the drones are pretty exaggerated compared to how I draw humans, which was a bit hard to get used to. I ended up having a lot of fun with it though. Uzi's clothes were actually kinda difficult though because I wasn't sure how they would lay on her body. Especially with the lack of muscle and fat on her, so the clothes and the wrinkles are probably not correct. The line art was overall pretty fun even though it took forever. I think it took about 3 hours? I honestly didn't mind though because it was fun to dedicate my day to a piece again. The colors also weren't too hard, except this show is very, very dark. Color-wise, so I had no idea what color her wings and tail were meant to be. I just kind of guessed, so I apologize if I got it completely wrong. The shading was very fun. It's very satisfying to see your drawings start to come to life. I also like the routine of putting a blob of color down and smudging it until it looks right. I went in with a second shading layer to emphasize some darker bits too. The wrinkles and folding on her leg warmers are probably completely wrong, since I didn't use any references. But I think they look cool this time, so I'll ignore that. I also kind of had no idea what I was doing when it came to the highlights. I just like making the hair and stuff super shiny. Okay, here is my finished Uzi. She took a total of 8 hours and 20 minutes. I personally think she's super cute. Next up is N. The sketch actually took me a super long time, because I was trying to figure out the anatomy and proportions, but it was still really fun. I chose a pose that would kinda show off his friendly nature, so I made him front-facing and waving. N's design was actually kinda tricky to draw. I really struggled with his hair and trying to not make his head look too big. Originally I wanted to change more about his design, but all the changes I made just made him look less cohesive. So, I decided that I would just add some buttons to his coat for a little more detail. Drawing his coat was actually really fun. I also got an excuse to finally draw fur again. The line art was pretty straightforward, except for the fact that I accidentally drew his hair on the wrong side, so I had to quickly adjust that. I also sketched some doodles on the side. I really wanted to draw his wings, but I didn't realize that all the wings for the disassembly drones are really hard to draw. So this is the only drawing that I decided to include them in. I also did 2 headshots to get used to drawing his hair. I did the coloring and then, I remembered that I completely forgot to give him his tail. So I'm only realizing while editing this, that I forgot his tail on the doodle with his wings too. Anyways, it's time to move on to shading. I had a lot of fun shading the wrinkles and fur on his coat. I spent quite a while on the more subtle shadows, but in the end, you can't see them all that well. Anyways, this is the finished N. He took 10 hours and 52 minutes. I don't have much to say on him, except that I can't believe I spent so long on one drawing. Next is V. She's the one I was the most excited to draw because, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of her original design. I feel like it looks a little too bland. Before we get into that though, I wanted to pick a different type of pose for her. I felt like a stiff pose, like the ones I did for N and Uzi, wouldn't work for her. Also, I just wanted a fun pose to motivate me to draw her. This time, I also wanted to focus on the characters' heights being accurate, so they'd all look somewhat cohesive when lined up. One thing you can see that I already changed, was that I gave her feet, just like N. I feel like the female disassembly drones having no feet was a weird design choice. Also, wouldn't it be way more impractical for them? I decided to give her a red scarf that she used to have in her concept art. I just think it makes her look cool. And it adds more color into her design. I also wanted to give her a fluffy hoodie to her jacket, to match with N's. Except her jacket has a zipper instead of buttons. Also, I decided to give her shorts because if I'm being honest, she just looks cooler with them. I think her worker drone form is super cute, so I wanted to draw in here. The sketch was pretty boring, but thankfully, I was able to finish it rather quickly. By the time I started working on the line art for this piece, my motivation was at a very low point. I also just wasn't feeling the best in general, so it took a while for me to come back to this drawing. I did really want to finish this video, so I managed to push myself to finish it. I felt like the colors were going to be too similar to my drawing of N, so I wanted to shade with a cooler color for a change. After not drawing for a bit, I couldn't fully remember how to shade the hair and clothes. So, I'm not the proudest of the shading, but I think it works regardless. I do think the highlights were a little bit better though. Anyways, here's my finished V. She took a total of 9 hours and 49 minutes. She's not my best work, but I do really like the changes that I made to her design. Finally, it's time to draw J. I struggled on a pose at first, because I didn't want it to look too boring. But then I remembered that all the characters I've drawn so far have their legs more spread out for the sake of a clearer silhouette, so I thought to do the opposite with J. I think her design is already pretty good, so I didn't want to change much. Although, it was a little hard to interpret her design. Since this show's colors are very dark, I couldn't make out any small details on her outfit. So, there is probably a big chance I forgot some stuff. Really the only change I made to her design was giving her a jacket on her waist because I thought it would be cute if they all were wearing jackets. I slightly changed her sleeves to look more like a suit's sleeves too. Well, also I was just tired of drawing the same sleeves for everyone. I did the sketch a bit rougher than usual, since I wanted to move on to line art as soon as possible. I feel like the line art here isn't very good. But, I don't think it holds back the piece in any way. It just isn't the best compared to my other drawings in this video. I feel like all the expressions I drew for her might look a little repetitive. I just really like drawing that type of expression though. My Apple Pencil died right after finishing the line art. So, I actually colored most of it with my finger. It was pretty tedious, but also surprisingly fun. I think the colors overall look pretty good, but I feel like I should have changed the color of her jacket. I wanted to do some light blue shadows, since I never really used that color for shading. I think it actually makes the yellow on her really stand out. I feel like the shading looks somewhat simpler compared to the others that I drew, even though I used the same process for all of them. I guess I was more focused on blocking out the shadows, rather than trying to blend them perfectly. I also thought doing the highlights was really fun. I think I kinda overdid it on the clothes though, especially her suit. I also feel like I could have lowered the opacity a bit more. Alright, here's the finished J. She took a total of 6 hours and 56 minutes. Out of everybody, she took the shortest amount of time. Okay, here's Uzi, N, V and J in my style. Please feel free to tell me who your favorite is in the comments, and I might end up drawing the other characters if there's enough demand for it. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Thank you, and bye for now.